So, I've got something super interesting for you today on QuickSpeak English, and I think it's going to help a lot of our married listeners out there.
Oh yeah, you're absolutely right. And I'm actually really excited about this topic because, it's something that affects so many couples.
Um, we're talking about something that's kind of, well, intimate today. It's all about keeping your marriage, spicy, and maintaining a healthy sex life.
Right. Right. And listen, I've been working with couples for like years now, and this is honestly one of the most common things that comes up in relationship counseling. You know what I mean?
That's exactly why I wanted to bring this up today. Because it seems like everyone deals with this, but nobody really talks about it.
Totally. Totally. And the thing is, there are actually some really practical ways to keep that connection strong. Like, I've seen couples completely transform their relationships with just a few key changes, right?
Okay, so tell me, what should our listeners really know about this? Because I'm sure there are lots of people out there wondering about this exact thing.
Well, first things first, and this is super important. Maintaining intimacy in marriage isn't just about, the physical stuff. It's about creating this whole environment of connection and trust. But don't worry, we're going to break it all down today.
So, let's start with something that seems really basic, but I feel like it might be trickier than it sounds. How important is communication when it comes to, intimacy?
Oh my goodness, you're touching on like the absolute foundation here. And let me tell you, communication is literally everything when it comes to intimacy. The thing is, most couples actually think they're communicating well, but they're really not. You know what I mean?
What are some of the biggest barriers that you see couples running into?
So the biggest one I see all the time is people feel awkward, right? Like they're embarrassed to talk about their needs and desires. And then there's this whole thing where couples assume their partner should just know what they want, you know?
That actually makes a lot of sense. But how do you get past that awkwardness?
The key is, well, you've got to start small. Like maybe begin with talking about your day, your feelings, and then gradually work up to the more intimate stuff. And here's something really important. You want to pick the right moment, right? Not when someone's stressed or tired or rushing out the door.
What about when someone's feeling really nervous about bringing up certain, topics?
That's such a great point. And what I always tell my clients is start with I statements, Like instead of saying you never initiate, try something like I would love it if we could be more spontaneous. It's all about creating this safe space where both partners feel totally heard and validated, right?
So it's not just about what you say, but how you say it.
Exactly. And remember, body language is huge here too. Like when your partner's talking about something sensitive, put down your phone, make eye contact, really show them that you're present and listening, you know what I mean? These little things they make such a massive difference in building that trust and openness.
Um, so Peter, I've been wondering about something. How important is it to actually spend, quality time together, like beyond just being in the same room?
Oh my goodness, this is absolutely crucial. And let me tell you, it's not just about being physically present, right? Like quality time is about really connecting with your partner. You know what I mean? It's about creating these special moments where you're both fully engaged.
What are some practical ways that couples can create those moments? Because, everyone's so busy these days.
So here's the thing. You've got to be intentional about it, right? Like maybe start with something as simple as turning off your phones during dinner. And another thing that works really well is scheduling regular date nights. I know it sounds kind of structured, but trust me, it makes such a huge difference.
But what about couples who can't always get out for, traditional dates?
That's where creativity comes in. And you don't need anything fancy, right? Like you could have a candlelit dinner at home after the kids are in bed, or maybe take a walk together after work. The important thing is you're making time to really connect and focus on each other, you know?
So it's more about the quality of the interaction than what you're actually doing?
Exactly, exactly. And here's something really interesting. Research shows that couples who spend just 20 minutes a day really focusing on each other, like really being present, they report much higher levels of intimacy. It's about creating these little rituals that bring you closer together, right? Maybe it's morning coffee together or sharing 3 things about your day before bed. These small moments, they add up to something really special. You know what I mean?
That actually sounds pretty doable. Hmm. Even for super busy couples.
Absolutely. And remember, it's not about finding time. It's about making time. Like we all have the same 24 hours, right? It's just about prioritizing your relationship and being intentional about creating these connection points throughout your day. Because when you feel emotionally connected, well, that physical intimacy tends to follow naturally, you know?
Speaking of physical intimacy, what about, keeping that physical attraction strong? I mean, it's something a lot of married couples struggle with, right?
Oh, yes, yes. This is such an important topic. And let me tell you, it's completely natural for the initial spark to change over time, right? But that doesn't mean it has to fade away. Like maintaining physical attraction is really about keeping that connection alive in different ways.
What are some practical things that couples can um, actually do about this?
So first thing, and this might surprise some people, it starts with self-care, right? Like when you feel good about yourself, you bring that energy into your relationship. And it's not just about looks, you know what I mean? It's about feeling confident, feeling healthy, feeling good in your own skin.
Is there more to it than just, um, taking care of yourself?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Another huge thing is showing appreciation for your partner, right? And I don't just mean saying you look nice today. Like it's about being specific, noticing the little things. Maybe it's how they look in their favorite outfit or the way they smile when they're excited about something. These small observations, they make your partner feel seen, you know?
What about couples who feel like they've lost that physical spark completely?
That's actually more common than you might think. And here's the thing. Sometimes we need to create opportunities for that attraction to grow again, like maybe try something new together, a dance class or even just changing up your routine. The key is breaking out of those patterns that might have become too comfortable, right?
Are there any common mistakes that couples should avoid?
Oh yes, and this is really important. One of the biggest mistakes is taking your partner for granted, right? Like stop noticing them, stop flirting with them. And another thing, letting stress and daily responsibilities completely overshadow your intimate life, you know? It's about making your physical connection a priority, not just something that happens if there's time left over.
Um, any final tips for maintaining that attraction?
Yes, yes. Remember that attraction isn't just physical, right? It's emotional, it's mental, it's about the whole package and sometimes it's as simple as showing your partner you desire them. Leave little notes, send flirty texts, create anticipation. You know what I mean? Because when you actively work on keeping that spark alive, well, it tends to stay alive.
Um, you know what I've been wondering about? How do couples actually create the right environment for intimacy, like with all the stress and everything going on?
Oh, this is such a great point. And let me tell you, creating the right environment is absolutely crucial, right? It's not just about like lighting some candles and putting on music, though that definitely helps. It's about creating the right emotional and physical space. You know what I mean?
Could you, break that down a bit more? What exactly does that mean?
So first thing is you need to manage the external stuff, right? Like if your bedroom is cluttered with laundry and work papers and kids' toys, that's not exactly setting the mood for intimacy. And it's really about making your bedroom a sanctuary, a place that's just for you and your partner.
Other example.
In this episode of QuickSpeak English, we're diving deep into the fascinating, sometimes tricky, world of keeping the spark alive in a marriage. We're talking about how to have more sex in marriage and how to keep that married sex life healthy and happy.
Oh, I'm so excited to talk about this. It's a topic that's so important and often overlooked, right? And it's something I'm really passionate about. There's so much to unpack.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard so many different things, so many conflicting ideas. Some say, schedule sex. Others say, just let it happen naturally. What's the real deal? What actually works?
Well, the thing is, it's not a one-size-fits-all kind of deal. It's really about finding what works best for you and your partner. But there are some key principles, some common threads, that contribute to a thriving sex life within a marriage. First point, communication is key, absolutely key. You got to talk to each other openly, honestly, about your desires, your needs, your fantasies even.
Oh, wow, really? I mean, that sounds intense. I guess I never really thought about, talking about fantasies.
Yeah, well, and it's not just about what you want in the bedroom. It's about everything, stress levels, work pressures, even just like how you're both feeling emotionally. These things impact your libido. So, it's important to be open and honest about all of it. And that leads me to my second point. Prioritizing time together. It's not just about scheduling sex. It's about scheduling quality time. Date nights, even just cuddling on the couch, little things that create that connection.
Right. So it's less about like forcing the physical stuff and more about nurturing the overall relationship.
Exactly. And that creates the foundation, for a healthy sex life. And that leads to my third point. Exploring and experimenting. Don't be afraid to try new things, to step outside your comfort zones. And I'm not just talking about crazy stuff, although that can be fun too, but just like little things. Different positions, new locations. It keeps things exciting, keeps it fresh.
Oh my gosh, that's a lot to take in. So, communication, time together, and experimenting.
Exactly. And those are really the big three. But there are other things too, like maintaining a healthy lifestyle, eating well, exercising. These impact your energy levels and your overall well-being. And that absolutely influences your sex drive and your ability to, perform. Also, managing stress. If you're constantly stressed, it's tough to get in the mood. So, finding healthy ways to manage stress is crucial, like meditation or yoga or even just taking a long bath.
Yeah, I can totally see that. Stress is definitely a libido killer. So it's almost like you need to take care of yourselves individually, and then that improves your relationship, which then improves your sex life.
Absolutely. It's all interconnected. Think of it like a three-legged stool. Good communication, quality time, and exploration, they are the legs. If one leg is weak, the whole thing wobbles. And you also have to factor in the emotional intimacy. Feeling connected on an emotional level. That's so vital for a fulfilling sexual relationship.
So it's not just about the physical act, it's about the whole emotional package.
Exactly. And that's the really important bit. It's about building that connection and intimacy so that, you're both feeling safe and valued and loved. And sometimes, couples need help navigating these things. There's nothing wrong with seeking professional help, A therapist can offer guidance and support.
Right? I think a lot of people would probably assume therapy is only for couples with big problems. But really, it seems like even having a bit of a tune-up can really help.
Totally. It's like taking your car for a service. Even if it's running well, a little preventative maintenance can make a huge difference. And in speaking of maintenance, I almost forgot this crucial point. Self-care. You have to look after yourselves. Make time for your own hobbies, your own interests. Because, happy, fulfilled individuals are usually better partners. And that definitely influences the overall vibe in the relationship. It trickles down, makes everything better.
That makes so much sense. It's almost like you're saying a healthy sex life is a byproduct of a healthy relationship. It's not the destination, it's part of the journey.
Exactly. It's about nurturing the connection, the intimacy, the emotional bond, and the physical connection flows naturally from there. It's kind of like a delicious dessert, you know? It's the wonderful cherry on top of an already amazing sundae.
That's a fantastic analogy. So in short, to have more sex in marriage, you have to focus on the overall relationship health, communication, quality time, experimentation, a healthy lifestyle, managing stress, and prioritizing self-care. All those work together to create a healthy and vibrant sex life.
Yep, precisely. And remember, it's a journey, not a destination. And sometimes it's okay to laugh about it too. Don't take everything so seriously. Embrace the ups and downs, the silly moments, and the passionate ones. Because in the end, it's about sharing life with your partner, and that includes the fun, the messy, and the beautiful parts of intimacy. And don't forget to keep talking. Communication is really the bedrock of everything we've discussed.
Absolutely. Thanks for sharing all of this, Lily. This has been incredibly insightful, and I think our listeners will really appreciate this. And that's all the time we have for this episode of QuickSpeak English. Remember to subscribe for more chats on all things related to personal growth and well-being. Until next time.